Well, hello and welcome back to more of our review of 2020. We're joined by a young man who, during the Laurels at Cork Park, really kept us up to speed, grabbed all the interviews after the racing, and I suppose was lucky enough to be on track. James, it was a good time to be at Cork Park. Of course, the stands were empty, but you were there. Sorry, I have to introduce you. James Mulcahy, a man who's steeped in greyhound racing, a man that's very enthusiastic about the sport. James, it's great to talk to you.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, no, Laurels is brilliant. I suppose there was a lot of uncertainty whether people would be allowed in, and we had small crowds for the first round or two, but after that, obviously, it went behind closed doors, and I was lucky enough to be on track the whole time. So it was a brilliant Laurels. You know, last year's Laurels obviously was fantastic, and
yeah, last year's Laurels will go down as one of the all-time greats, one of the all-time great lineups, one of the all-time great finals, one of the all-time great storylines. It was going to be hard to live up to it this year. I think it went close enough now, to be honest. Another thrilling final. James, firstly, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm in college now, but I mean I've been in greyhounds all my life. My father's been in greyhounds for 30 plus years. I suppose all my life there's been greyhounds around the house, whether they be pups, racing, retired, the whole shebang. The moment now we've two nice pups. They just schooled them there during the weekend, their first school, so they went around, and we're looking forward to them next year.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? The dream. The first time you school them, the first time you realize, okay, they're chasing it, they know what they're doing. These could be useful.
Yeah, and you know, they're well bred, and they're 15 months now, two of them, so you know, we'll be looking forward to maybe an unrace with a sweepstake win or something. No.
Have you named them yet, James?
They got their names right, yeah. So there's
keep it close to your chest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Listen, James, we asked you to pick out a couple of your moments of the year. We'll start wherever you want to start, be it locally or nationwide.
Yeah, like I suppose nationally, it's probably the same every year. What the highlight is, it's always the Derby. It's always the one everyone wants to win throughout the country and probably in the UK as well. But, you know, it was a fantastic Derby again this year. You know, it was a fantastic competition. I know towards the end it got a bit tight and hairy towards lockdowns and that, but it was great to finish it. And I suppose, you know, during it, pestana's run, I mean, it was incredible to break that record. Something that I suppose a couple of years ago would have seemed impossible. Reminded me a lot actually of Katunda Harry back, I suppose 10 plus years ago now.
Yeah,
breaking the record in Limerick for the 525 that time. But no, brilliant running through, and a very worthy winner in Newinn Taylor. And very fortunate.
Good Kerry breeding, of course. You know, you've been a Cork man now. Would you not be a bit worried about that?
No, sure, we leave them off. You know, they have to win something sometime. No, it was a very deserving winner, and brilliant final, apart from obviously pestana, but you know, it was a brilliant final, brilliant Derby altogether. So yeah.
Yeah, it was certainly a standout moment. There's no question about that. From start to finish, there was performances throughout, and it wasn't just the likes of pestana and Newinn Taylor. Of course, you had old dogs, you had young dogs, you had the likes of Great Name That or Boyle Sports Extra at the other end of the scale, who was approaching his fourth year, that were performing through it. And it just seemed like the canine stars stood up for us at a time when we needed them most. Of course, it was on Racing Post television, and some people would have been viewing it from Intertrack and others from Barking Buzz. But from start to finish, it was an absorbing derby.
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough. I was watching it actually. I was in Cork the week before, watching it on the screens down there. But yeah, no, as you said, there was standout dogs throughout. I mean, a miracle to nearly take it as well. For a lady to do that, it was, you know, all around. It was just a great derby. And, you know, 1 week later, we had our own little Southern Derby, so that was fantastic as well.
I tell you what, it's no little Southern Derby. It was a proper jewel in the crown this year, as it has been for a number of years. It really is one for the speed merchants, though. You know, the Laurels is a very different test to Shelbourne Park and the 550 of that. The 525 at Curraheen Park really is suited to the dogs that can absolutely skull to the corner. But even the early rounds, there was a few strong runners coming through. We commented at the time that there was probably more strong runners winning at Curraheen than there had been in the early rounds of the Irish Derby. But in the end, it was early speed that won the day, and the likes of Brody's Magic came to the fore. But Running to See was the main dog on the night. And is that your moment, or what is your moment that the Laurels overall?
I think there was moments at every round. I mean, when I was looking back on it before doing this, I noticed that the first dog drawn out of the hat was Running to See Ya, funnily enough. So even if it was a raffle, he would have won it. I mean, there was two reserves brought in the first round out of the 66 dogs, and one of them came second overall. I mean, and then you had, I would say, coming out of the traps even in the final. I thought Running to See I had it going around first bend, going around the second bend. He was 2 lengths clear. I didn't think anything could catch him. And, Brody's Magic, I thought would be going the other way. And I don't know how he made the gap he did. He passed Blast Off Wire from the outside, drove into the inside of the third bend, and coming around the final bend then, Running to See it went wide. And I thought maybe his goose is cooked here. But no, Running to See had a really, really strong run home. He led, made the pace, and did a hard fighting home. Very well deserved winner.
Representing good Greyhound men, and a poignant winner, of course, for Johnny Linehan.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there was obviously Brad Champano was knocked out early on, who would have been a real fighter, and obviously, with Bartley he passing during the year, it was I suppose it was Johnny Lennon's first Laurels. A lot of people didn't pick up on that because he's been going so long and he's been such a great trainer that we just wouldn't have expected. We expect him to have a winner. No, brilliant win for him, and he was delighted on the night anyway. He's a lovely fella to deal with. He's well liked around the track and around Cork. So, and there was a kind of a touching moment afterwards. Obviously, Kieran Lynch won the last 2 years. And we were on track during the prize giving ceremony after the Laurels, and there was a race gone. And Kieran Lynch had a dog the race after, and walking past the kind of presentation area behind, he congratulated Johnny Lennon, and it was a real passing the torch kind of moment. It was a lovely thing to see. I mean, they're real competitors, obviously, on the track, but off the track. It's great to see that they're good friends and obviously great competitors. So
yeah, no question about that. There's a great camaraderie in our sport. Thank the Lord. One more thing, I just want to ask you about your own experience through the Laurels. You enjoyed doing the interviews. You enjoyed the bit of talking and getting involved in the actual nitty gritty.
Yeah, no, it was completely different for me. I've never done anything like that. I mean, normally I work at the Tote down in Cork, so to be put into the deep end, I suppose, early on, it was a different experience. I suppose I enjoyed it afterward. I got into the swing of it. But obviously, the final few rounds, when I was behind closed doors, I got an exclusive look. I mean, for the final, I was on the line. Could just about tell that Running to See got up. It was close. Probably, not, to be fair, not quite as close as last year. Last year, it was a coin flip who would have won it. But I think this year was you could just about see Running to See had it. That said, I mean, the dogs finished within 4 lengths of each other's top to tail. And there was 3 there on the line that could have won it.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. No, a thrilling finish. You mentioned there about Brody's Magic. I suppose in defeat, and he did finish third. It's worth pointing out. Blast Off Fire was second, of course. He did finish third. But in finishing third, he produced perhaps one of the performances of the year from a dog that got beaten, shall we say. I'm sure Mean Miracle would be up there, but Brody's Magic's performance was sensational.
Yeah, no. I was looking back in the video and I still can't figure out. He made a length and pushed in across in a length space, and he took the inside off Running to See it. And I suppose coming around that bend, even though you think he's going to be dying off, he is a sprinter, he's national sprint champion and that. But I thought he had it coming around the last bend until you see Running to See it flying down the outside. and taking it off and then back. It was just a really, really good final. As was last year. I think it's hard to call which one's better. I suppose, Rocky Bay Foley winning it twice is obviously a special thing for last year's.
The Pakistans and the atmosphere sort of did help as well, of course.
Oh, well, yeah, no, the atmosphere, I suppose. Throughout the first round, there was a big shout for one of the dogs winning a heat, Butsy's Bengal. They snuck in a few of the syndicate. There was a big shout after he won his heat. And for the final, I suppose there was a few cheers from who was there, but
not quite the same. Yeah. At the same time, they are classic winners. James, what are you looking forward to in 2021? Of course, you're doing accountancy in college. Are you near finished?
Yeah. So final year should be finished up by the summertime anyway, hopefully.
Buy yourself a few more dogs then.
We'll see how that goes. No, we have Ron 2 to look forward to now. 2 puppies. So when they're 15 months, they're not puppies anymore. So we'll hope for the best. And hopefully we'll have crowds back next year. Yeah, so that's the big thing.
Here. Listen, James, a pleasure talking to you. Keep up the good work, and who knows, you could be the man back on track in Corrine next year.
Maybe, we'll see.
James, have a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you in the near future.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Newinn Taylor on by 3-4 lengths into the back straight. From in second 5 Ballymac Cooper, then comes 2 Mina Miracle, but it is 6 Newinn Taylor that's still on, but Mina Miracle is in chase in second spot. It's Mina Miracle closing on Newinn Taylor off the final turn. Newinn Taylor switches wide. Here comes Mina Miracle. Newinn Taylor holds on to win the Derby. It's Newinn Taylor, the Derby winner for 2020. Mina Miracle ran an incredible race in second. The winning time 29:61. Newinn Taylor had to work for the lead, but he got there and he dug in. He showed bravery, he showed class, and he'll be forever known as the 2020 Boyle Sports Irish Greyhound Derby winner.
And that's it. The Bella Sounded here is going blast off fire and into seeya. Ballymac Anton, Witches Ethiopia, Droopy's Hamish and Brody's Magic. Racing away they go. The draw gets 2 quick away, and the inside run into seeya to the first bend from 1 on the inside, and that's blast off fire as they head down the back straight. Run into seeya leads it out from 1 on the inside, and the race is on. 6 is flying. Brody's Magic on the outer. It's 2 from 6. They'll go to the third bend with Run into seeya. The challenge is on from Brody's Magic. He takes the inside track. It's Brody's Magic is just about taking it up. They'll head up for the judge, and Brody's Magic with 2 finishing very quickly. Oh my goodness, it looks to be close on the outside. 2 with 1 and 6, and they finished like trains. They came to Brody's at the finish 28-38, and runninta seeya was certainly not all done in that one. The 9th of the night, the final, it was fabulous, and we'll wait for the judge on the line.